A lot of people are asking today, well, why would we want to go back and remember something from 500 years ago? And there are a lot of Protestants, even evangelical Protestants, that have significant feelings of ambivalence about the Protestant Reformation. But at RTS, we are celebrating the Reformation because we believe that the great theological emphases of the Reformation are just as important and just as needed today as they were 500 years ago. Interestingly, most people think, when they think about the Reformation, they think about justification by faith, and that's appropriate because that was one of the hallmarks of Martin Luther's teaching and experience. He wanted to herald the fact that we are not justified by our works, and we're not justified by a combination of faith and our works. We're justified by grace. And so Calvin and Luther and Bullinger and Zwingli and Melanchthon and Butzer and Tyndale and Cranmer and Knox and all of those great reformers, they believe the same thing on salvation by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone. But Calvin, in his little book on the necessity of reforming the church, makes it very clear that the prime reason that the Reformation was needed was worship. He said, look, if Christianity is about worshiping the one true God and freeing us from idolatry, then idolatrous worship can actually deliver us right back into bondage. And therefore we need to worship God as He is, according to His Word. And friends, that is just as needed today as it was 500 years ago. So Calvin's emphasis on worship and salvation as two linchpin issues in the Reformation is a very, very important and needed emphasis for our own day and time. We believe that the Reformation is something that ought to be celebrated. We believe that its theological commitments are true, and therefore they need to be heralded in our own time. And we're committed to heralding that same Reformation message and to equipping students to herald that message in this generation and in the generations to come until the Lord returns.